7 years ago, this past St. Patty's Day. I walked in and I thought, who is that really cute girl with the hair that's really too long to be spiked like that? And it was funny because she had asked me for my phone number, and I refused to give it to her initially. A few weeks later, you know, she called me and our friendship began, and little did I know that fate had more in plan for us than just being friends. Hello, my name is Tracy Johnson. I'm originally from Indiana. I was in law enforcement for close to 12 years, and at the age of 34, I had a deep desire to join the Army, and this is where I met Donna. Donna was she's definitely a Taurus. I related her to being a Taurus. She didn't do what she didn't want to do. She is very strong-willed, and but she's very loving and very personal. She had no problem telling you her opinion. And what I loved about her is that she was a very forthright and very honest person. That's probably what I love most about her. Well, besides the fact that she put up with me. Donna and I were originally going to get married when we both came home from deployment back in 2008. Don't Ask, Don't Tell was still in place. We were afraid to put our careers in jeopardy. And I wanted a marriage for her. I didn't want just a ceremony in front of our family and friends. I wanted something that was legal because I loved her so much. I fought so hard not to cry because I was so happy. I was finally marrying the woman that I was so madly in love with. I went to the mountains for. They were supposed to be doing a key leader engagement with the Afghanistan Uniform Police. And they met, and they wanted to do a walking patrol. From what I read in the reports, the guy was waiting on him when they set up their checkpoint, and he just basically infiltrated the corridor and came upon him before anybody knew it. And I believe his target was their police chief. And unfortunately, Donna was in the wrong place at the wrong time. We had talked briefly, and she said, well, babe, I'll call you before I go out on patrol. And I know my wife, she's always in a hurry in the mornings and usually late to just about anything. And so I said, that's okay, babe, I understand if you don't call me in the morning, because I know how mornings can get hectic because I've been deployed before and I know how things go. And I said, just as long as you call when you get back. Normally she would call between 10:30 and 1 o'clock, and she hadn't called by 10:30, which I thought was really strange. So I got up and I immediately started panicking. You know, sometimes the best thing to do is just bury your head and hope that it all goes away. So that's exactly what I did. I buried my head and hoped that it all went away. And her sister called me a short while later, and I didn't want to answer it, and first I ignored it. And then I picked back up the phone and I called her back. She said there were uniformed people at her house. And I lost it. Last thing I wanted was to be here in this life without her. I knew that the federal government didn't recognize our marriage. I knew that North Carolina didn't recognize our marriage. But I didn't care because she was my wife. I didn't get my own casualty assistance officer. Her family was assigned a casualty assistance officer. He did the best he could, and her family did the best they could to incorporate me on any of the decisions or anything like that. But you know, getting the flag, even though it's extremely important, I honestly, if I would have had a choice, I would have let her mom have that flag. You know, it wasn't the flag or the medals or the awards. It's just the fact that she was recognized as my spouse is all I really cared about. But all the little things that people don't realize is that, you know, even being allowed to ride in the limousine with the family and sit in the front pew with the family as her spouse. I mean, all those little things mean a lot. Even to be allowed to sit graveside with the family, I could have been completely shut out. And if it wasn't for her family, I would have been completely shut out. I mean, I was allowed a lot of things, mainly because I was military. support. I mean, all those little things mean more to me than the flags and the awards and the medals. I mean, them allowing me to love her